Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Are we live yet? We should be live. Hello? Is there anybody out there? Welcome, everybody, to the live stream. My name is Evan Freiberger. We are currently monitoring a tornado watch that has been issued out there for northern Mississippi, going up into parts of Tennessee as well. You can see areas like Tupelo, Oxford, Hernando, Corinth, Mariana Forest City over there in Arkansas, and then over here into Tennessee, we are dealing with areas like Jackson, Dyersburg, Union City, Lawrenceburg, Columbia, Franklin, Nashville, and Dixon, and Clarksville as well are all in that tornado watch. Coming up here to Kentucky, we're talking about Paducah, Mayfield, Murray, Benton, Cadiz, Princeton, Hopkinsville, and Oak Grove. So, yeah, that's what we're going to be watching out for. We got a couple of storms already starting to get started. We got one over here that appears to be surging with that RFD there. We have Pagey Tornado on the beat here. She's on the case. Looks like settings have gotten all jumbled, as they always do for some reason for her stream, but we can get that back going there. She's on the case here. I think she is near Memphis. Somewhere near Memphis, I think. Hold on, let me check. She's near Millington. Starts with an M, which I think that is just north of Memphis. Yeah, it's just north of Memphis. So if this storm does try to do something, we will have a view on it. Oh, and here is a view of the storm. There you go. Let me turn on her audio. She might be saying something. Why can't I hear her? Is her audio off? No. Okay. Maybe it's because it's going through that.
Good.
Okay.
So we're on 100%.
All right, now that's working, but I still can't hear her. I am confused. I forget how I fixed the problem last time. I'm not going through my headphones. That's right. To the roadcaster. Through there. Something's messed up. I know you guys can probably hear her because the audio's going on, but I can't hear her for anything. But I'll just act like Tornado Pagey here. As you guys can see, look at those clouds. Wow, clouds.
Perfect.
That's all we got.
We're gonna be watching out for some storms
no
and
cell
some tornadoes
here
today. Potentially. It's in the realm of possibilities, Pagey. It sure is. Yeah. Yeah, that storm is looking interesting, I will say. It is certainly surging on the southern side. So far, though, not a whole lot of rotation with it. But if it does try to do anything, it could try to drop a tornado. That is in the realm of possibility. So if you live, kind of in the path of this storm right now near Marion, Millington, and Munford, I would certainly be paying attention to this storm as it comes through. As of right now, there's not a whole lot of dangerous circulation with it, but essentially what this storm has done is it is asserted dominance over these more beta storms around to its left and right. So these storms are going to struggle because of this big storm right there. Now, if this RFD can kind of surge out, this storm is already pretty much a mature storm. I think around it, let's go check on our mesoscale convective environment here. If we look at our surface-based cape, actually, let me change the sector. Is everything, usually I come over here and it's not set up, but I actually set it up this time. Imagine that. What's going on in the Tupelo, Mississippi area? There are quite a couple of storms. We'll go over there and talk about that in actually, we'll talk about it right now. Also, over here near Tupelo, Mississippi, you can see that we do have a couple of storms out here in northern Mississippi. None of them are really rotating too much. There's a couple storms out there that look a little interesting. We got a severe thunderstorm warning on this storm. That's going to be for 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. That's going to be going towards Boonville, Paden, and Tishomingo there. And then we got a couple of storms back over here. These storms are going to struggle to mature, but if they can, some of our best shear environment is kind of going to be over these storms. And this one might be lagging a little bit too far behind to kind of tap into the shear environment out there and allow it to kind of become more surface-based and wrapped up there. So it's going to be something we're going to be keeping an eye on up there, obviously. for Memphis. But over here near Tupelo, you do have a lot of little storms back down here. So got to watch these. These are definitely going to have those capabilities of becoming severe. Um, will they be tornadic? That only time will tell. That's why we're live. There is a little bit of a threat for that, and that is going to be because of our mesoscale environment. Another segue back over to this. Will we get distracted again? I don't know. But yeah, I mean, we have a lot of surface-based cape out there, as you can see, up to 3,000 joules per kilogram, 3,500 joules per kilogram. So instability is not going to be an issue whatsoever with this storm. The main issue I think that we're going to be dealing with, let's go check out on those lapse rates. Lapse rates are pretty good. But I think the main issue here is that we are having not a whole lot of forcing in this area. You can see our forcing is mainly up here where we have that severe thunderstorm warning just to the north and west of Memphis. And so that's why that's one of our taller thunderstorms. And we do have a little bit of forcing up here into northern Mississippi. And that is why our tornado watch is mainly up here rather than being down here where all this instability is. We could definitely still get severe weather down here, but our tornado threat should be on the lower end of things. But our lower level winds are also kind of relegated as well up here into the northern areas of Mississippi, going into central Tennessee. If we had like 1,000 joules per kilogram over there with this line of storms there in central Tennessee, definitely could see a possibility of some strong tornadoes up there. But thankfully, we're not seeing much instability whatsoever. So that's not really going to be a problem. The main threat over there for central Tennessee is when these storms kind of move off over into this direction, and maybe some of these storms back over here in Mississippi kind of lift off towards the north and east. So there's still some question. It's a pretty conditional environment, but I ain't got nothing better to do. And so we're going to just kind of cover it. And even though there's not too much going on, but it's a little chance for us to kind of sit around and watch the storms as they progress and keep you guys in the know. Where's the hat? You guys don't want me wearing that hat all the time. I mean, I get it. It's a cool hat. But I can't wear it 24/7. But I do like it. So we just got a severe thunderstorm watch down here for parts of Mississippi. That's going to be for Natchez, St. Joseph, Jackson, Vicksburg, Lake Providence, Greenville, Columbus, Grenada. Over there need to be watching out for some severe weather. Let me get the breakdown on that one. Let me turn on post notifications for severe thunderstorm warnings too. Okay, so here's our latest information on that. Looks like this severe thunderstorm warning. Oh, it also includes Florence and Jasper there in Alabama. Hopefully I get to see something. If I do, and there's no tornadoes going on, maybe a porch chase? I don't know. It is possible. But yeah, a couple tornadoes possible. Scattered hail of up to tennis ball size likely. What? Did we get an upgrade on our risk? Interesting. Tennis ball sized hail and a non-significant risk. And they're saying it's likely. So it looks like they're going to try to upgrade this to an enhanced risk on their next update. If I had to guess, tennis ball sized hail. That's nothing to scoff at. That will break windows. So yeah, watch out there in parts of Mississippi going into Alabama. And thank you, Carrie, for the 2. Thank you so much. Hope you had a good day. I did. It's been a pretty relaxing day. What state do I live in? I live in northern Alabama. Yeah, keep an eye out there. That's this pink area here. That is a severe thunderstorm watch. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning over here near Oak Grove and Providence. That is going to be for 1.25-inch hail and max wind gusts of up to 60 miles per hour. And the reason why we'll probably have a little bit of a better chance for that large to very large hail is because these storms are going to be removed from that sheer environment. So it's going to be kind of harder for these things to produce tornadoes. Not impossible, but harder. And because of that, the little hail nucleus, the beginnings of hail, right, when it goes into that updraft and there's a lot of spin, a lot of times what happens is the beginning of that hail, right, is going up above the freezing layer, gets rotated out of the storm. And so typically when you have a storm in a lower shear environment, but a lot of cape and the freezing level is relatively low, so the hail spends a long time in that above or below freezing area of the updraft, and it can just kind of hang out there and circulate, and that's how it builds its size. That's how it gets swole, and then it drops out of the storm, and that's when you get the bigger hail. So doesn't I guess it doesn't overly surprise me, but we'll see if that actually plays out today. And that's it. I mean, I would say the scattered hail up tennis ball size is a little bit more conditional than just hail above an inch. But it's interesting that they're putting that scattered hail up to tennis ball size likely. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome, everybody. How's everybody's day going? Yeah, that's a great question. How is everybody's day going? Is this my full-time job? It is. It certainly is. Well, it's not really full-time. It's kind of like a part-time job. Some days or some weeks I'm working like 24/7. Oh, wow. Yeah, look at this southern gust or RFD gust here. Gotta watch that northern side for some rotation. Looks like it is trying to bring up a little bit of rotation there. But that's that RFD surge we were talking about earlier, and there's definitely going to be some hefty winds on that. Still only talking about 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, though, at the moment. And let me see where Paigey is now. Hey, she's on the northern part of this storm. I'm guessing she's going to sink down to the south here in a little bit. Relaxing before Monday again? Oh, yeah. Welcome to Sunday, the great day, right? It's nice and relaxing. You usually don't have anything planned, but it's also the day that reminds you that it's time to go back to bed early again to get back on the work grind. So yeah, I thankfully don't feel that. I don't feel where you're coming from. But sometimes I do have to. I mean, I always wake up early regardless. I usually wake up even on the weekends at like 6 or 7 a.m. And that's what we're talking about. Let's see if we got any upgrades down here. Yeah, we got a ping pong ball sized hail now possible with this storm, and that is heading towards Payton and Tushamingo. This is going to be kind of probably the most dangerous storm that eventually tries to cross into Alabama here in the short term. What should we expect for Nashville? A line of storms, most likely. Our cold front. Let me see if we can find our. Well, I don't even think it's more of. I think it's more of one of those Pacific fronts again. Let me see. Let's come over to our surface obs here. Yeah, our it's more like a dry line. I guess it is a little bit of a cold front, but you can tell the temperatures where see on these little green numbers, that's the dew points, and you see how it's a lot drier, a lot lower dew points back behind pretty much this line right here. It's more like a dry line rather than a cold front. So this might be one of those Pacific fronts kind of surging down, but we should eventually get some storm initiation all the way across this dry line. And so if you don't get any of these prefrontal storms to be severe and come through Nashville, you will eventually, at least according to our latest models, which I can kind of show you guys here. This is the latest HRRR run. You can see a lot more widespread thunderstorms eventually tries to form as that dry line sinks down to the south, kind of interacting with some of those storms with some of that moisture and lift over here into Mississippi and Alabama. We could have a whole line of storms, really from Texas through Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. I think the tornado threat at that point will be a lot lower, and I think our initial tornado threat here is probably going to be. Well, I know I said this last time, but it should be more brief. Okay, this storm is starting to look a little bit more interesting to me. We're really getting a classic RFD surge out of this, and there is some rotations trying to develop on the northern side of this storm. Not tornado warned yet, but this certainly could be a storm to watch here, and that is going to be going eventually into northern Memphis near Millington. Definitely looks interesting. It does. It certainly does. We see this sometimes, and you can even get to, even in like a day where it's conditional, you can even get strong tornadoes to form in a scenario like this. You get that big old push on the southern side. Now, it doesn't always happen. Sometimes it's just a gust front, and it never turns into any tornadoes. But you got to always watch that northern side of these storms, especially when you have a little bit of a supercell here starting to really surge in front of the precipitation behind it. So it's really running into all of that instability and eating it up for itself. What's the chances some people actually Google their area for weather instead of repeating the same question? 0%, apparently. But yeah, I mean, if you look at the map, every time oh, wow, we just got our first tornado warning here. So it looks like we're all on the same page. All on the same page. We just got our first tornado warning. That's going to be for Millington, also south of Munford as well. So if you guys live in this area, make sure you are getting in your safe spots. That's going to be for Arkansas and Tennessee. Looks like everybody's thinking the same thing, and I think this is warranted. Might be a little bit premature, but I mean, there are some tiny circulations on that northern edge. They're just not really that strong yet. But that is certainly a storm to watch out for tornadoes. Because if that does decide to wrap up, it will wrap up pretty quickly. Let me make this tornado warning polygon just a tad bigger here. Just give me a second. Border thickness, bring it up to 5.5. How does that look? Oh, yeah, that's much better. Much better. Yeah. Maybe a little something here? Is that associated with reflectivity? It's not. Yeah, so we're still mainly talking about a gust front here, but yeah, I would certainly an area to continue to be in your safe spots for. Man, and that's really gusting in there. Let's see what the winds are on that. I'm assuming just based off of my memory, that should be around like 60, yeah, 60-mile-per-hour winds. And we're only looking about 2,000 feet up into this storm, so you can be rest assured that that is most of that, if not all of that, is making it down to the surface. That's where you are. Well, get into your safe spots if you're in any of these cities. I know Pagey Tornado is out in this area. She's kind of in the backwoods right now, but I'm pretty sure she's actually in this tornado warning. Toss a beer bottle into a tornado. That doesn't seem very smart. Tornadoes can sometimes be like boomerangs. So instead, I would just shelter. Please. You're also in Millington. Well, thankfully you're here. Just get into your safe spot. So the storm is moving to the east here. Let's go see. At around 40 miles per hour. But the good news is right now, I don't see any signatures inside of this storm that's indicating right now that there is a tornado on the ground. And also, well, actually, let's go look up a little bit higher in tilts here just to make sure. Yeah, we do have a little bit of circulation higher up into this storm, but that's also pretty broad circulation. So we really don't have any tight circulations at all, on any portion of this storm right now. It's mainly just a surging area of some stronger winds. But the reason why they're warning this is because we have a very obvious RFD gust front here, and if tornadoes do spin up, they're going to spin up pretty quickly. So it's not going to be something that's going to really have a whole lot of warning, which is why they just already put the warning out there, just so folks can preemptively have some time here to get into their safe spots. Any forecast for Gibson County, 20 miles south or north of Jackson, Tennessee? Looks like right now pretty clear. If you're over there like near Humboldt, pretty clear. Yeah, hopefully Pagey tornadoes over here in Millington. So, we're probably moments away from getting a really good view on this storm. I think all she's doing is just really getting into place here to get a good view of it. So I can kind of see something on the right side of her screen. Yeah, that might be it. I don't know where she is oriented, though. The tornado warned storm is heading due east. Heading due east right now, heading towards Millington and Kerrville and Tipton. Also Rosemark as well. Yeah, guys, make sure you're sharing the stream, especially if you live in this area. You never know how many family members, are looking for some pretty in-depth coverage of this tornado warning right now. All right, latest scan has just come in. Our RFD gust front is still surging off to the east here, and you can really see it. If I play this, you see how that really surges there on the last couple of frames. It starts off more like this back here, and then by the time it gets over here, you can see that area of velocity surging with all of that wind and hail that is associated with this storm at this moment. I don't know why. I still don't know why I can't hear any audio. Is there audio playing right now? No, there is not. Okay, there is audio playing every time I come back to here. Okay, let me mute that. I've got to figure this out. I really do. Forget what I did last time. It's playing, but I can't hear it. Properties, that's there. Duo. I'll have to try to focus on that after the tornado warning expires. Sirens are going off. Yeah, they are. It looks like Paigey might be getting a view of the storm here. Hopefully we can get a good signal. Oh, yeah, there it is. You can see it just every now and then. Oh, here's a good spot. Yep, right in there. There's that surging RFD and our mesocyclone associated with this storm. You can see it just back in there. Wow, look at that. Don't often see storms like this in Tennessee. Usually they're like completely rain wrapped and it's all muggy, but it's a little bit of a drier environment, at least near the surface here. And that is our tornado warned storm as it approaches Millington, Tennessee. So again, if you live in Millington, you got to be in your safe spots. The storm could try to do something. We'll see. It's kind of where I'm at. We're kind of in like the wait and see stage of this storm right now. You can see that it is still in the process of producing a gust front. We really don't have any areas of strong circulation yet, thankfully. No strong areas of circulation, mainly just a gust front here. But again, tornadoes can form in and along that gust front and to the north of it. So definitely worth being in your safe spots for still. Because again, as I've said before, they can form pretty quickly. Why isn't this not loading? Okay, there we go. Do want to check on some of these storms to the south here. And no rotation on these. Just potentially some pretty large hail. Yeah, we already got 2-inch hail over here near Lake Providence. So you definitely want to be indoors there for Lake Providence, and that is in Louisiana. All right, let me see something here. Is it my computer audio is not going to the right place? Try some things here since we're waiting on a new scan.
Yeah. Trying to get you. Video.
He just goes over to and it starts playing. I can hear myself. Causing that. That's going to be a problem that I'm going to have to fix when I got more time because it is not coming to me quick. Sirens have stopped. Well, there's still a tornado warning, so just continue to be in your safe spots over there north of Memphis. Again, for the majority of Memphis, you guys are going to be good from this storm. The storm's going to go to your north. Near Westlake, Louisiana. Don't know where Westlake is. Still don't have a search function, but in the areas that we're watching out, at least in the short term, for severe weather is over here near like Bastrop, Winsboro, Jonesville, and St. Joseph. Still trying to think what could be causing this. That's there. What about here? Is it a problem over here? That
Parallel with it. Yep.
did not fix it. All right, latest scan here. Looks like that gust front is starting to calm down a little bit more, and still not seeing any areas of really any rotation on this storm still. Storm chaser is right by your house. Well, that's never good. The good news is it doesn't really mean much in terms of tornadoes, but this storm does have a 1-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds associated with it. So even though we're not really seeing any areas of strong rotation right now, there is still that severe thunderstorm threat. Missouri storm is wrapping up some. No, there's no storms in Missouri. Too close to radar? No, we would still see rotation. We would still see rotation with this storm, even if it was close to the radar. Where it's going to get a little bit harder is as this moves like over the radar itself. Again, if you're just now tuning in, we have a tornado warning here in Millington, Kerrville, Tipton, Rosemark, and Arlington. That is in Tennessee. If you guys live in this area, you do need to be in your safe spots. As of right now, our storm is not exhibiting too much rotation, but it is certainly the gust front was stronger. I'm not as concerned as I was for a northern circulation. If it continues to be like this, we'll probably see this tornado warning expire. Quarter-sized hail in North Memphis. Yeah, it is possible. It is possible if any of these storms can get down to North Memphis. But I guess if Bartlett and Lakeland is in northern Memphis, it is certainly possible. Is Ontario, Canada getting any snow? I think so. If the forecast holds, you certainly could. All right, let's go check in on some of our other storms again. Okay, we got a good radar here. This storm is looking kind of interesting. Oh, wow. This might be about to get a tornado warning here. South and west of Tishomingo. Get that classic supercell hook echo with some rotation trying to develop with this storm. So we might get a tornado warning here as well. That's going to be traveling off to the east towards the Alabama Mississippi state line. And as of right now, it is warned for ping pong ball sized hail. So if you live in Cherokee and Russellville, Alabama, just be watching out. You don't need to be in your safe spots just yet. But this storm is certainly trying to wrap up here. It's a little bit on the broad side, so they might hold off on it. But it wouldn't surprise me if we got a tornado warning. Come back here and check in on these storms again. Yeah, we got 2-inch hail on this storm now near Crystal Springs and Terry. You guys need to be indoors and well away from those windows. And thank you, Relic, for the €5. Thank you so much. Helps fund what we do here, so I do appreciate that. Keeping the channel alive and me, the channel and myself alive. So thank you. And this one, let's see if it's still warned for 2-inch. Yeah, this one is still warned for 2-inch hail. Headed towards Lake Providence. And this is when it's going to get a little bit harder to tell just how much this storm is rotating. Let's head back over to this radar here. Okay, yeah, we still got a good view from this radar, and as you can see, very broad and kind of weak circulation here. So not really much of a tornado threat anymore. We love Euros. Yes, we do. Let's see here. Let's go back over to Paige. I know she's pretty close to this mesocyclone, but I think she's going to try to, or at least this gust front. It's really not much of a mesocyclone right now. Not really sure what her plan is here. Looks like she's probably going to try to, looks like she's rerouting to get out ahead of the storm. Yeah, but on the weather station here, the sirens are back on. Interesting. Yeah, they'll probably be, putting them on and off throughout the day, or not throughout the day, but throughout this tornado warning. Yeah, let's come check back over here with our regional or our terminal radar. Yeah, this has gone completely outflow dominant as of our latest scans. So not really much of a tornado threat, mainly just a damaging wind threat right now. Let's go back down to that other storm that was looking pretty interesting over here for northwestern Alabama. Is it organizing anymore? Not really. Still some pretty broad circulation in there. A pretty strong inflow, though, on this storm. So it's certainly still worth keeping an eye on. Yeah, still warned for 1.5-inch hail. That's going to be heading really close to Tishomingo. Have ever had to take shelter during a live stream? Yes, I have. I've done it. I've had to do it once. Almost took shelter the last time we had a severe weather outbreak in northern Alabama. I thank you, Drock, or D-Rock, for becoming a Windy member. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, over here near Clinton and Ridgeland, we just got a new severe thunderstorm warning. That's going to be for 1.25 inch hail. So we just got a new mesoscale discussion as well. Going to be for parts of Texas and Louisiana and Arkansas. That's going to be for that southern portion of our frontal boundary here. That's going to be for scattered storms are likely to develop along the length of the front with large hail, localized wind damage possible. Not really highlighting much of a tornado threat down there. 4 days until surgery. Oh my goodness. Getting your knee better? Well, I hope so. I've had a couple knee problems myself. Is it like a meniscus, ACL type deal? I've torn my ACL twice, and parts of my meniscus as well. To be fair, though, it wasn't really that bad. To be honest, at least for me, tearing the ACL. I think the worst part is after surgery and the physical therapy. That's where it definitely hurts the most. All right, let's see. We got our latest scans in here now, so let's go check it out. Yeah, still somewhat of a gust front there, but again, this storm has pretty much lost all of its marbles. Victoria ACL2, PCL, MCL, and ACL all at the same time. Oh my goodness. I don't even want to imagine what your leg looked like while that was happening. Yikes. It's a lot of things to tear at once. Usually that's like one of those videos where the leg goes sideways. Mine didn't go sideways. It went like, if you can imagine, knee, leg, it's supposed to go back this way. Not really showing it too well, but it went this way instead. I was trying to jump and catch a ball, extended my leg just a tad bit too early and put all my weight on an extended leg. ACL, LCL, MCL. Oh, wow. Playing high school football. That's when I tore mine. It was during a practice. We were playing like a practice touch football game before real practice with pads. We were just all hanging out. And yeah, that ended it all. Just one little jump and my tornadoes, I mean, not my tornado, my football dreams were crushed. That's all it takes. Be careful when you jump. Jumping is dangerous, especially if you don't know how to land like me. All right, let's come back down to here, checking in our gorilla hail happening down here. Yeah, still 2-inch hail. This one's coming pretty close to Jackson, Mississippi. So if you live in Jackson, watch out. That 2-inch hail is going to be scattered, really in between all of these storms that are kind of embedded in this area. So keep your eye out there in Jackson, Mississippi. This is coming your way. Also Clinton as well. Don't do injury talk. All right, we'll stop the injury talk. Probably a good thing not to talk about gruesome injuries while covering severe weather. Your friend is in Jackson. Well, let him know about that hail threat. The latest scan on here, not a whole lot's changed. Let's go check our other radar. Yeah, still very outflow dominant area. Again, no circulation in and along this entire region. What's essentially happened here is that little RFD push, that gust front, what we were talking about, that was a lot of cold air surging out in front of the storm, and now it has completely cut off the storm's inflow. No food talk. I mean, that I'll leave up to you guys because it always devolves into food talk eventually, and you can't stop it. Can't stop it from happening, especially now that we're getting pretty close to dinner time. A little update on this area of circulation. It looks like it has completely lost its marbles as well. The storm did try for like 0.5 seconds, and now it is struggling again. It still has a pretty decent hail core on it. I'm still checking to see if they've upgraded. Yeah, they did upgrade this this storm to 2-inch hail. That's just to the south of Tishomingo, where we have all these peaks. That's where that 2-inch hail would be located. Let me bring up our VIL. Yeah, right here in this purple. That's where our big hail is. Gonna be near Burton and Neal. Gonna be making its way towards like Bloody Springs, just to the south of Tishomingo. It's inevitable. Exactly. That's where your marbles went. Well, stop feeding all the marbles to the storms. We don't like storms with marbles. We like the ones that don't have any. Oh, look at that. There's your storm. We can listen in, but I will have no idea what they're saying. So hopefully they don't say anything crazy. But it's Pagey Tornado. We should be good. We'll listen in. Just give me a little while. I'm trying to figure out what the heck is going on. Why can I not hear this audio? Monitor off. Monitor off. All the monitoring is off.
Just looks funny.
It looks very weird.
One of these things. Testing, 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 testing. Testing, testing. I don't hear it. I don't hear it. Still a mystery. Playing through there into YouTube. Desktop audio is playing into the Rodecaster.
Still throwing out lightning. I hear thunder.
Mm-hmm.
Audio on my PC should be going to my Rodecaster as well.
Storm chaser?
Yeah.
Hate problems like this, where everything should be right, but it's not.
What?
That guy in the car is like, look over there, there's the storm. You guys see that? There's a storm over there. Yep.
What?
And as you can see, this storm is
Oh.
actually pretty elevated. All that rain back there, that's that rain-cooled air that is kind of choked off the storm at the moment. Yeah, I know you guys can hear her, and I don't understand how you guys can hear her and I cannot. That is what I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, lots of little storms trying to fire back over here. All of these storms, if they can get a little bit discreet, like this one is, they're going to be able to produce some pretty large hail. Oh yeah, you can see that outflow boundary extending all the way south here of Millington. Very classic outflow boundary surge here. Let's go check just to make sure we're not getting any eddies or circulations along that outflow boundary. We are not. Still looking good. Still practically zero rotation. Did the audio mixer I use? Could be. Might be. All right. Let me try something. I'm gonna have to turn on her audio here really quick. And then okay, so it's not coming through there. So what if I turn this to here? Hear it. Advanced? No. It's just not coming through at all. I've screwed something up at some point, and I just don't know what that is. Don't know. I know you guys here. That's what's important. But the thing is, I can't hear my computer at all. So if like a tornado warning gets issued, I just got to be vigilant and keep on searching the storms here because I'm not going to get notified to that through my ears. A new severe thunderstorm warning with tennis ball sized possible hail here, up to 60-mile-per-hour winds. That's going to be for Cherokee, Barton, Pleasant Sight, and Russellville here in Alabama. That is going to be for this guy over here. So they did upgrade this warning as well. So they're expecting those large to very large hailstones to drop here into Alabama as well. Evening. Welcome. Mute your computer's desktop audio, then unmute it all. That's not going to work. Not going to work. Thank you, Sassy. Got a new haircut. I wanted it shorter, but the haircutter person was like, just watch this. And I was like, okay, we'll see. She had a lot of confidence, so. And it did turn out pretty well. As he should be able to fix it, I doubt it. And it looks like the storm is trying to kind of wrap up again. Might be trying to form another inflow here. We'll see if that leads to any increase of rotation. A little bit more of an interesting look on radar, but so far, not any real rotation to back that up. Yeah, still not a whole lot happening there near the mesocyclone of that storm. They're saying 80 miles per hour in this storm. Probably not. It's not warned for that. And, as of right now on radar, at least as best as we can tell, and they're pretty darn close to the storm, so it should be pretty accurate. There's probably somewhere around like 60 mile per hour wind gusts here. But, we're really not seeing many indications that it's going to be much higher than that. You're late to the party is Florence, Alabama, looking good. Thank you, Big T, for the 5. Appreciate that. Yeah, I think Florence doesn't need to watch out, in particular for this storm here. And for the storms behind it, really, if they can mature. You see, this one's going to kind of skirt like southern Florence, most likely. Probably by the next severe thunderstorm update, that's going to be pushing it over into Florence. What's Pagey looking at? Oh, interesting. A little bit of something in there. Looks like you got a little bit of a shelf cloud developing here with our outflow dominant storm pushing into northern Memphis. Isn't that hook a sure sign of a tornado? No, not at all. In fact, hooks do appear on storms quite a bit, and very rarely are they actually associated with storms. If you take all of the accumulation of hooks on storms, and then throughout the year of storms that look hook-like, right? And then you add all those together, and I think it's around only 10% of those actually produce tornadoes. That's just a guess. It's not like an official statistic, but storms look like they have a hook a lot, but it really means nothing unless you have rotation to back it up. And be indication that the inflow is pushing into the storm, but this is a perfect example of that, what I was just talking about. So here is that hook on the storm. We gotta wait for the latest velocities to come in, and then we'll put in what I was trying to say here. Tishomingo looks scary. Well, Tishomingo is now out of the path of this storm. This storm is warned for 2-inch hail. But eventually, yeah, some more storms are coming for the Tishomingo area. All right, so here's a great example. So here is our hook echo, or a hook on a storm, right? Our radar, let's see where it's located. It's located over here. So the green is going towards, red is going away. And so you can see that right there where that hook is, where our mesocyclone would be located, is right in here. Got a pretty strong inflow into this storm, which is why it looks hook-like, but where it would actually produce a tornado, we're not actually seeing any rotation. So it's just kind of it just looks like it's a bad storm, but as of right now, well, technically it is a bad storm. I mean, it's got a lot of hail. Got a lot of hail and potentially strong hail. What is happening? And potentially 2-inch sized hail. Let me take this off. I don't want this to play because I'm going to do a new thing. Where is it? There it is. Take off the transition. We got a new severe thunderstorm warning here for Lakeland, Tennessee, Arlington, Oakland, and Mason. That's going to be for up to quarter-sized hail. They did allow that tornado warning to expire. That's good news. Should be popping up here any moment here on our program. So let me go change my title. Just rain so far. Thunder, not really loud. No hail near you. Very close to radar. Gotcha. Well, thank you for the report. I do appreciate that. Looks like everybody's hooked on the hooks. Yeah, that's one of the things that amateur Radar peeps, I would say probably pay a little bit too much attention to, because again, hooks only mean something if you've got rotation with it. I think it's always good to kind of check a hook on a radar, but I wouldn't hyper focus on it if you go over to velocities and you're not seeing any rotation. It's not really it doesn't really mean much other than there's a mesocyclone with that storm, and that's where the updraft is located. But yeah, it looks like we got that 2-inch hail now moving into Lake Providence there in Louisiana. Over here near Jackson, your storms are coming in, and it looks like they are downgrading these warnings to 1 inch and $half sized hail, so that's good. This one over here also has a hook to it, but as you can see, no rotation to back it up. So there you go, 2 storms there with hooks and no rotation, which happens more than a hook on a storm that is like actively producing a tornado. Does your headphones have a volume button? Because, well, what I'm hearing right now, I'm hearing the audio through my mic. Maybe this will work. I just changed something. Let's try this. Testing. Nope. Testing. Okay. Oh no. Monitor. No. Listen. Change anything there? I don't know. It should be coming through the program, but it's just not. Don't know. It'll be something I'll have to mess around with when we have more time. The good news is, folks, we don't have any tornado warnings at this moment. Weather is brutal around the world. Here in Canada, you're drinking maple syrup, looking out your window to see a blizzard. Yeah, there's potentially some pretty strong winds up there. Not sure if we have any Canadian radars. I'm assuming you're over here near Ontario. We do have some snow happening up there near Michigan and Wisconsin as well. Some pretty heavy snow happening up there. We got a severe thunderstorm warning over here now for south and west of Nashville. 1-inch sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. It's going to be heading up towards Spring Hill and Fairview. You guys need to be going indoors and away from windows for that one. Drinking maple syrup. That's what they said. Those weren't my words. Well, technically they were when I read their post, but we also just got a new severe thunderstorm watch for parts of Texas. Got some storms actually trying to fire over here. Over there near Fredericksburg there in Texas. It's going to be for areas like Austin, Round Rock, Fuglerville, Georgetown, Temple, Killeen, College Station, Huntsville, Corsicana, Grossback, Mexia, Fairfield, and Palestine are all in that. Not sure what the details are on that one, but I'm assuming it's damaging winds and large hail possible there. New severe thunderstorm warning, are a little bit of a new change here for our severe thunderstorm warning over here near Lake Providence. They have downgraded it to 1.5-inch hail. Hasn't come through on my program just yet, but they have downgraded that. And we also got a new severe thunderstorm warning over here near McGee in Arkansas City. See what that's for. Maybe for 1-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds as well. And this one also just came in. That's going to be for quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. That's going to be for Cortland and Pope. You smell sausage cooking for your pizza tonight? Oh my goodness. Here we go. Here comes the food talk. Prepare your stomachs. It's happening. Oh, and it's Italian sausage. Oh, you're killing me. You're killing me, Smalls. Yeah, latest scan on this storm. Still some pretty large hail with this, I'm pretty sure. I don't think they've dropped that to it. Yeah, this is tennis ball sized hail. 2.5-inch hail with this storm. Pushing down over there near Russellville. Had spaghetti for dinner. Ooh. Yeah, y'all are killing me with these food choices. Can somebody is somebody eating food that is not appetizing? Yeah, just a new update on this storm. $half sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind warning has been extended into Benoit and Balua there in Mississippi. Smoothie, okay, that doesn't make me hungry. It makes me want a smoothie, but doesn't make me hungry. Pork chop? No, pork chops are good. Loaded potato soup. Oh, no, stir fry is good. Loaded potato soup is good. Can I check Venmo? No, I never check my phone when I'm streaming. I always keep my phone on. Oh, thank you for the $2 donation. $1 for tank top and $1 for burrito. You're still asking for that. I will give you a credit for consistency. Please show Memphis storm. Sure. Yeah, here's the Memphis storm. It is currently going through northern Memphis right now, heading towards Galloway and Mason, and also Millington. As you can see earlier, it had a tornado warning, but that has since been allowed to expire. We're mainly just talking about a damaging wind threat here and a 1-inch hail threat. Parmesan crusted chicken. Ooh. I don't know why, but when you add the word crusted to that, it makes it sound so much more fancy. You could use that to anything. Cereal crusted cereal. So fancy. The only thing that it doesn't work on is like crusted water. That does not sound appetizing. Let's see if we have any new updates on this. Yeah, still 1-inch hail heading up towards Franklin. This storm in particular is going to go into southern Nashville near Franklin and Samira. Milk crust, yeah. Milk crust does not sound good. Yeah, straight line damaging winds is the main threat with this. Of up to 60 miles per hour. We're not really talking about anything other than that. Maybe some small hail of up to 1 inch is possible too. And it should stay out of downtown Memphis for now. We might get some storms firing back here that will eventually go into more southern downtown Memphis, or maybe we get a little bit of, like, if this storm tries to gust out a little bit further to the south as it matures. Eventually, you might see something there for more of downtown Memphis. But for now, you guys are kind of in the clear, but you're probably hearing a lot of thunder. Like Pagey's looking back at it. And by it, I mean the storm. Yeah, you could see clouds, trees, and grass that looks like it's dying. When's the last time you guys got rain there in Memphis? Why does it feel like we're in Oklahoma minus the trees? That grass looks like it's on its last breath. Someone needs to. Looks like these storms might help the grass. I feel bad for that grass. Deep fried shrimp with cocktail sauce or tartar sauce. Ooh. Like popcorn shrimp. You dried out a day or two ago. Well, I don't know why your grass is looking so dead. All right, let's go check back in on this storm near Florence, just to make sure it's still one of those storms Yeah, still not a whole lot of rotation in this thing. Or we're still talking about that tennis ball sized hail. Getting very close to like just to the north of Cedar Creek Reservoir, near like the kind of just north and west of Russellville. Long Island and an island? Nope. All right, new severe thunderstorm warning was just issued. Uh, um, looks like back over here near Pontotoc, Belden, Tupelo, Moorville, Verona, Shannon, Troy, Algoma, and yeah, that's going to be for 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-sized hail. That's going to be this storm down here. You can see it is intensifying. The severe thunderstorm warning hasn't showed up yet, but it will in a little bit. That's going to be going towards Tupelo, Verona, and Algoma. Smoked oysters in a can. Yeah, that'll get me not hungry real quick. I like oysters, but oysters in a can sounds dangerous. Come back here and give it some attention to our Jackson storms for a little bit. How's Florence? You guys are still north of that storm for the most part. North of that storm, but there's still more storms coming after that. Oh, wow. Looks like these storms just merged. Here in our Crystal Springs. Not really doing much, though, in terms of rotation, but that might increase the hail a little bit. Still talking about half-inch hail, though. We got severe thunderstorm warnings all the way throughout this area. Another one over here heading towards Charleston and Glendora. Another one up here near Cortland and Pope. This is the one over here near Glendora. This is warned for quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. It's our latest one. Fried green tomatoes. Ooh, sounds tasty. I feel like that would go good with like a sauce of some sort. Maybe like a spicy mayo sauce. There's that severe thunderstorm warning polygon for this storm. This one also has a little bit of a hook on it, but again, no rotation. That's what we want to see. And this one still also does not have much rotation to it. And thank you, Ghosty Boy, for the 5 New Zealand dollars. Thank you so much. Because it's lunchtime in New Zealand, I'm sharing a part of your lunch money. Good. I'm glad you did that before I forced you to give it to me. Give me all your lunch money. Everybody in chat has to give me all their lunch money right now. No ifs, no ands, no buts. We're looking at a bad tornadoes, or is it tame? It's going to be one of those days where it's just going to be off and on. The main threat today is going to be damaging winds and very large hail of up to 2 inches and above. I've had a lot of storms get warned for that so far today. You think if anything will produce is to sell in Mississippi? Well, you know, the further north these storms can stay mature and discreet, the better chance they're going to have of a tornado. That's just kind of how today's going to go. And our sheer environment where tornadoes will still be possible is just mainly up here. I mean, I'd be surprised to see one happen further down to the south. There's just not a whole lot of lower level shear, but it's a very conditional tornado day. We don't really have a whole lot of backing at the surface. Above it, the winds are more parallel rather than perpendicular. So it's going to be hard for these storms to kind of get spinning. So they will struggle to spin, but we're mainly talking about our main threat for today is probably going to be that very large hail for sure. Don't do that, Carrie. That's just mean. Why would you do that to me? Is that your own pizza? If that's a shot of your pizza, then I get it. But I can't believe you just sent that to me. That makes me so hungry. I'm appalled. It looks so good. I know. I agree. I'll give it a like. All right, we'll torture everybody in chat with that extremely delicious photo. Here you go, guys. Check out this thing that Carrie just sent. And it's not a photo of a storm, but it's not going to help you not be hungry. Oh, we just got a severe thunderstorm warning in Texas. That's going to be for Harper, Texas. Wow, all the way over there. Oh, that's going to be this storm over here near Fredericksburg. It's going to be for up to 50-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-sized hail possible. So that's this storm right here. So watch out over there near Harper. Not too crazy of winds coming, but some quarter-sized hail will certainly be in the realm of possibilities. Steak is yummy. You're eating steak? All right, that's fine. It's fine to eat it. Just don't send me any photos. I can't handle another photo. Not another one that looks that tasty. So we also just get a severe thunderstorm warning over here near Cloverdale, Underwood, and Killeen. And that's going to be for Lexington, Anderson. That's going to be for 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-sized hail. Or no, that's not that one. Yeah, 60-mile-per-hour winds, quarter-sized hail possible. And we also just got a new one over here south of Nashville. That's going to be for Franklin, Brentwood, Nolensville, Smyrna, Lavergne. That's going to be for 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-sized hail. Looks like another one over here near Kentucky. And this one get issued. 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds heading towards Calvert City and Grand Rivers in Cuttawa. When did that one get issued? Is that new? Yeah, it looks like they're still saying that a tornado is possible on this one. Still tennis ball sized hail. That's the latest update on this storm. So they haven't downgraded it yet. And yeah, you can see it's certainly trying to form a mesocyclone here. Wonder if it's worth looking for a cam on this one. You see what the cameras are looking like. Oh, I hate this website. Why, Alabama? Yeah, there are some cameras near Lawrence, but they're like kind of. There is one in Muscle Shoals, but it's a little bit too far to the north. You have a lot of Mississippi cams. I should probably get those up. Let's do that. Let's do that. Does anybody in chat want to control the cameras for today? And it's in the Discord. Let me get this up here just in case we don't got anybody that wants to help out. Let's see, what storms can we look at? We'll go over to Tupelo. Definitely can look at that storm. Do your local meteorologists ever make the joke that it's going to be Tupelo 0 here in Tupelo? Something back in there. Hold on. Something's there. That might be a good camera for the hail, I believe. That's Tupelo. Down here. That one goes up there. Yeah, we have to wait for the storm to maybe get a little bit closer here. Seeing many western facing cameras. No. Not many good views of the storm yet, but it should. And once it gets closer to Tupelo, we'll be able to go to the south here and then look north and potentially get a really good look at that mesocyclone. Yeah, okay, Carrie, you enjoy that, what appears to be very delicious food. All right, we got an update on our severe thunderstorm warning here south of Jackson. The ones to the north of Jackson have been allowed to expire, but we got another one just issued. This is going to be for, I guess they just updated it. Yeah, they just updated it to golf ball sized hail. This one also has a little bit of a hook. Definitely looks outflow dominant. And yeah, no rotation. So there you go. That's why hooks aren't always an indication of a tornado. As you see, we've seen like 4 to 5 hooks here, none of them of which have had really any dangerous rotation. Looks like our storms over here north of Memphis are starting to struggle. Wall cloud near Arlington, Tennessee. Probably, I do assume, probably not. Don't know where Arlington is, but we don't really have any dangerous. Yeah, Arlington's over here. Yeah, there's no wall cloud. It's near Arlington. It looks like a wall cloud probably, but there's no rotation in that storm. What a wall cloud means is essentially a rotating updraft. And if you don't have a rotating updraft, you don't have a wall cloud. Had rice and chicken in the slow cooker all day. Oh wow. So you cooked that chicken real good. What did you season it with? Oh, you're doing delivery? Yeah. Yeah, doing the delivery. Oh, they allowed this severe thunderstorm to expire actually, so that's good. Doing delivery in rain is not fun. Because then you got to get out and into the rain. And the main story right now is the hail. It looks like still quarter-sized hail for Tupelo. Verona and Shannon. Quarter-sized hail over here near Cortland and Enid still. And that is these two storms. There's a Tupelo one. It's almost there into Tupelo. Almost time to switch a camera over there. And then the one near Cortland and Enid is this one. Here near Cortland and Pope. Actually, we might... Let me see if there's any cameras near there. I don't think so. Yeah. No cameras there. On the other side, Methodist? No. No, there's no rotation in this storm. Keep in mind, when you're watching storm chasers, they're going to kind of want to keep you engaged, and they might call out rotation that is not actually there. And I can tell you right now, I mean, our radar's right there. If there was rotation on this storm, we would see it. There is none. Go check back over here near Fredericksburg. Yeah, these storms might eventually try to make it into Austin, Texas. Kind of looks like, though, they're going to go north, like maybe more towards like Round Rock and Georgetown. Corey Gherkin has a mezzo on the Russellville storm. Now, I believe that. This one probably has a pretty cool mesocyclone. Let me see if we have any cameras we can look at over here. I know has cams are there might be one or two out here. Yeah, there's one near Florence. Let me see. Hold on. Let me hide this really quick. I can only look at the ones that aren't from people that like own the cameras, like the EMS, since they're government sites. So let me see where these cameras are. Tennessee Valley weather. I see a police thing on it. Does that mean it's EMS? I don't know. I'm scared, man. And then there's one on the UNA, University of something there. Oh yeah, University of Northern Alabama. Yeah, I don't know if I can use those. They did email me on that, but guys, I'm just learning that we're just too broke to afford anything. uh, like we lost CJ, the storm chaser, because he signed with the storm chasing broker, and they're charging too much now, and it's just like it's a struggle. Like they would literally charge me like they don't have like they don't negotiate prices for like smaller streamers, and so they would literally just charge me everything that I make on my stream to have one storm chaser. I don't know what we're gonna do. It's crazy. Be nice if they like negotiated with smaller streamers, but they do not. Yeah, not seeing much rotation in any of these storms. Let's go see if we have any new severe thunderstorm warning updates. We do. Looks like we have some ping pong ball sized hail possible over here in southeastern Arkansas. See if I can get a good radar view on that. That's going to be this storm here, north of Wilmot, heading towards Portland, Montrose, and Lake Village. So watch out there. Let's see here. Yeah, that's the latest one, I think. Yeah, we got a new update on our, or is this a new severe thunderstorm warning in Kentucky, or is that the same one we've been talking about? Yeah, this is a new one. So they are warning this storm here for Mayfield and Benton. That's going to be for quarter-sized hail, possible, and up to 60-mile-per-hour winds. So watch out there in Mayfield. Also, Clear Springs as well. Summer's going to be bad weather events. It could be. Could be. That is about the time when they would happen. Yeah, it's kind of a broken line of supercells right now. Pretty interesting that none of these storms really have much rotation on them. Further up you go north, the kind of the weaker they are, like the weaker they are, really, for that tornado threat. Over here near Calvert City, Luca, Kuwata, and Shawnee, we also just got a new severe thunderstorm warning here for 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. There's a tornado in Tennessee. Yeah, the tornado warning storm has been allowed to expire. New severe thunderstorm warning over here now. It's going to be on this storm here, I think. Is that right? Hermitage? No? Probably this one, yeah. I think this one just got warned, yeah, for 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-sized hail. That's going to be for Morro Bay, Hermitage, Ingalls, and Vic. And Jersey as well. They're in southern Arkansas. Lots of severe thunderstorm warnings going out. Looks like this little storm here is going to go south of Nashville into Brentwood and Laverne and Smyrna. Still warned for the same thing that since the last time we talked about, it's still about 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. Pork skins, I feel like I've tried them before and didn't like it. Hey, thank you, Rin Bird, for the $20. Thank you from Tishomingo. Yeah, no problem. Okay, well, this is now the time where we should probably be hopping over to this view here. But thank you so much, Rainbird. I do appreciate that. It does help support our channel quite a bit. So thank you so much. Oh, yeah, that hail is coming into Tupelo. All right, let's get a view of it now. Probably as far south as we can, and then look up to the north. There's something hanging down. there. Unfortunately, the MDOT traffic thing is in the way. Let me see if I can get a clear view from this camera over here, looking to the west. There. This is looking to the north too. Not much to see, surprisingly. Yeah, that is north. I think, let me just double check. Yeah. And it is north, so we should eventually get a pretty good view of the mesocyclone of the storm. Right now, we're looking at that hail core that is going into southern Tupelo, Mississippi, right now. Bulge. We're not doing that again. All right, new severe thunderstorm warning over here for this storm. That is going to be for 2-inch sized hail. There for Littleview, Hatton, Hillsboro, and Town Creek. Up to 60-mile-per-hour winds are possible with this guy as well. That is going to be for Littleville, Muscle Shoals, and Town Creek. Be indoors and away from windows. They'll show up on the program here in just a little bit. Will Chattanooga get anything? Yeah, eventually. Yeah, all of northern Alabama, southern Tennessee will get some sort of storm, potentially some hail there. I think our tornado threat further to the east is going to be a lot lower. I mean, our tornado threat overall is pretty low. If you look around, I mean, there's just really hard to find any storm right now with any meaningful rotation, which is good news. Hopefully it stays that way. You want to keep an eye on these storms near Kentucky because this is where our best shear environment is, but also kind of our worst instability environment. But 500 joules per kilogram of of instability is trying to make it up into this region. And also, we have around 35 to 40 knots of shear here. Might not be enough to support a tornado threat there, but kind of worth keeping an eye on. That's why Murray, Hopkinsville are in a tornado watch. Did I change the color on weather-wise? Yes, I changed the color of the radar. Making a sandwich, yeah. That's why I don't like it when people talk about food, not because of what it does to y'all, but because of what it does to me. Like, I'm trapped here. Oh, wow, we just got an upgrade here to this severe thunderstorm warning. That's going to be over there in kind of northwestern Mississippi. That's going to be for Balua, Benoit, Scott, and Lamont. That's going to be for 60-mile-per-hour winds and 2-inch hail. So, pretty big upgrade there. We just got the new NATO cast out. Still calling for a 5% chance of tornadoes over there. That's an AI program. We also just got a new severe thunderstorm warning over there north of Jackson, Mississippi. That's going to be for this storm. Quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds possible for Pickens Goodman there in Mississippi. And this is that storm over here that just got warned for 2-inch sized hail. It's going towards Benoit Hanna Boulevard, where that hail core is at the moment. So we just got a new severe thunderstorm watch as well. A couple tornadoes possible. Scattered hail of up to tennis ball size likely, and scattered gusts of up to 70 miles per hour possible. That's going to be for Tyler, Jacksonville, Nacogdoches, Lufkin, Natchitoches, Monroe, Shreveport, El Dorado, Camden, Monticello, and Pine Bluff. Really dark now in Marshall County, Tennessee. Where is Marshall County, Tennessee? Where is that near? We'll come over here and put a little bit of focus here on. Oh, wait, no. Let's come back over to here. Make sure we're up to date here on our. Where's the mesocyclone? Oh, it's still got a ways. We're still looking at the hail core. So we're looking north towards Tupelo. And all we're seeing here is that hail core move into southern Tupelo, kind of downtown Tupelo as well. This storm right here. Near Columbia, Tennessee. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's getting dark over there because there are storms coming near, are kind of nearby you. But the good news is that none of them are severe warned. And the storms that were over there near Memphis are still really struggling. Y'all still talking about pork rinds in chat? Microwaved pork rinds? That's interesting. And the storm over here near Russellville is still mainly just a hail threat here, a damaging wind threat. There with 2-inch hail. Still gonna be heading pretty close to Molten there. I mean, this storm might eventually try to track into areas like Decatur and Huntsville with some pretty large hail if that storm can hold on. Not sure where fully it is. Sorry. Gonna have to give me some sort of city that I can, like a bigger city that I can reference close to it. That's the best way till we get that search function back. Beef ramen is really good. It is very good. I don't like it just like how it like stock beef ramen. I like to add some butter to it and also interesting area here. Looking really high up into that storm though. Let me check from this radar. Yeah, nothing on that radar. But yeah, I add some butter, garlic, and chili powder to my ramen. It's really, really good. Railcam can't use that without getting a copyright strike. The storm could drop strong tornado. No, no, we're not talking about strong tornadoes today. Really low chance of that, in my opinion. If we do get some tornadoes, they'll probably be like the briefer and weaker spin ups. Add eggs to your ramen. Ooh, when? Why did you stop? Was it because that makes ramen not economical anymore? Eggs are so expensive. What does this west view out of here look like? Out of here. Do we have a west view? We do not. Yeah, that mesocyclone should be coming right in front of this camera here shortly. It should look pretty interesting. We don't have a view of it yet. We're still mainly looking at the hail core going into Tupelo right now. And again, this storm is warned for 1-inch hail. So, I mean, it's not going to be anything too crazy, but maybe some small dents in the car is possible. Probably won't see many cracked window shields with that unless you're going like 60 miles per hour. Let's switch a view into the hail core, see if we can see anything. Some heavier rain there. Maybe that's too far north. I'm not seeing much hail bouncing around, but we might just not be close enough to the ground. This one we might be able to see some hail. Yeah, how you know if there's a lot of hails when the cars start really pulling off the road? Physically impossible to lick your elbow? I don't think so. I've seen people do it. I think you're wrong. You got to understand, there's some really flexible people out there. Push the boundaries of what anybody thought was possible. Let's go check in on our latest severe thunderstorm warnings. We just got a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings. Wow. Yeah, still warned for quarter-sized hail over here near Tupelo and Verona. Same thing over here near Arkansas and southeast Arkansas near Collins and Haley. That's going to be for this storm here. See if I can. Do we have any close radars here? No, this is in a real deep radar hole here, and that's going to be this storm here. Over here near central Tennessee, we're still talking about that potential for some quarter-sized hail. It's going through Lavergne and Smyrna right now. After that's going to be Murphy, Ponderosa, Jefferson Springs, Ashwood. Might just make it into Castlegate Estates. Also, this storm over here is still warned over there near Charleston for some quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. And this storm over here just got a severe thunderstorm warning, I think. Yeah. For Rolling Fork, Anguilla, Grace, and Percy. And that's going to be for quarter-sized hail as well and 60-mile-per-hour winds. They also extended one of these warnings here from Mayfield, going up in like Dublin and going up into Mayfield. Well, I think they shortened it, made it a little bit smaller. That's still going to be for those quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. And then we got an upgrade over here near Harper for golf ball-sized hail. South of Nashville, yep. Yeah, that's this storm over here. Just kind of on its doing its own little thing out here. The good news is it did miss Nashville, and I'm not really seeing too much behind those that could make it into the Nashville area. Maybe like later tonight when this little boundary sinks further down to the south is certainly possible. For all your poor recipes, tune in here. Absolutely. This chat could be like just the chat itself could be a cooking channel. And look at all those severe thunderstorm warnings. I wonder how many we have. We have 21 severe thunderstorm warnings. Yeah, our latest one is over here now. A ping pong ball size possible here near Hermitage. Is moving to the north and east. Gonna come pretty close to Hermitage, but might go just to the south into Ingalls there in Arkansas. Very beautiful town. I've never been, but I'll take your word for it. What's so beautiful about Fredericksburg? Let us know. Buttered popcorn jelly beans? Why not just eat buttered popcorn? Is that like sweet? Not quite sure I understand. Okay, we should be seeing the mesocyclone now on this camera near Tupelo. Or not. Some lightning. Maybe it's too elevated of a storm and this camera might just be too close. It's sweet with a hint of movie butter flavor. I'm just not a. Well, personally, I've just never been a fan of that sweet and salty combination. I will say it is pretty impressive how like every single one of these storms is severe warned right now. There's like barely you can barely find a storm that doesn't have a severe thunderstorm warning. It looks like we just got an extension of this warning. Further off to the north and east, it's going to be for Royal Hill, Lebanon, and Watertown. That's going to be for 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-sized hail. We'll put that in motion for you. Then back over here into southeastern Arkansas, we got this warning just issued. And that's going to be for Lake Village. Same thing, quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. Put that in motion for you. Wants to do a giant D&D campaign? I don't even know how that would be possible. Because doesn't like everybody have to roll a dice? You're ready for more real flavor and food? What do you mean? Have you been missing out on that? Storms are getting closer to me. This one I might be able to see from my house. They can keep on trucking to the east, maybe. It just goes straight due east. East of Mayfield. I'll check it out. Not really. Very broad, weak circulation there. Let's see. Anything in Tennessee? Yeah, we got a severe thunderstorm warning over here to the south and east of Nashville, heading towards Lebanon and Watertown. Looks like we got a new severe thunderstorm warning over here near Murray, Benton, and Hardin. Quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds with this guy. And then over on the Arkansas Mississippi border, man, it's just a mess of severe thunderstorm warnings over here. My goodness. Which one is that? Okay, so that's this one. They just kind of added another part here for these storms near Greenville and Metcalf. That's going to be for golf ball sized hail. And then another one over here near Cleveland, Mississippi. Where is that? Back over here, yeah. Boyle, Ruleville, and Doddsville. That one was just issued. That's going to be for a $half sized hail, so 1.25-inch hail. I'm going to take a break from calling out every single severe thunderstorm warning. Come back over to here. Do we have a view of anything interesting yet? That is the question. Oh, What's that? Is that a cloud? Is that the mesocyclone? No. The mesocyclone is way off to the right here. We got a cloud behind the mesocyclone, though. Thank you, Anissa, for subscribing. Today had Sheer be a whole different story. Yeah. No kidding. No kidding. Lots of instability out there. It's been interesting. Why we have so many severe thunderstorm warnings in this area, but that low shear environment's probably why we have so many. Gonna get a snack. Noise. Check for rotations here across the board. Nothing up there in Kentucky. Check this one, heading towards Russellville and Moulton. It's looking a little bit weaker. Yeah, still strong inflow on this storm, but not a whole lot of rotation. We're still dealing with a 2-inch size hail. We are. They did downgrade that from 2-inch or tennis ball sized hail down to 2-inch hail. We had 315 shear. Yeah. No kidding. This will be crazy. This would be 2011 all over again. I don't know. Tornado threat is kind of struggling. I might take a break. I went live because that storm over there near Memphis looked like it was going to do something. One near Greenwood warned for 2-inch hail heading towards Greenwood, Mississippi. Watch out for that storm. Either that or I'll have to like change my thumbnail. Because there is still technically a tornado threat, but it's just not doing much right now. So I'm thinking like we could just wait. Maybe I'll eat some dinner and we'll just wait to see what happens. It's near Braxton as a favorable merger near Mississippi. Near Braxton? Don't know where Braxton is. This one? Oh, it is this one. Yeah, the thing is like the storms down here. I mean, we're not like waiting for storms to mature. There just really isn't much of a shear environment down here. I think these ones are pretty mature storms. Yeah, I mean, talking like, I think that's like almost 50,000. No data. Or 42,000. But, so yeah, I mean, they're not fully mature yet, but I mean, probably not going to get many supercells much stronger than that. It's a 5% risk. Yeah. Yeah, very conditional day. Sometimes 5% risk, though, can do a lot. Sometimes they just kind of don't do anything in terms of like tornadic activity. We'll see. We almost had one there near Memphis, but that storm thankfully fell apart before it did anything. And thank you, Pugsley's Adventures, for subscribing. I do appreciate that. Might find cams in the Discord. Yeah, do that for Mississippi. Mississippi would probably be the best one. Let me know when you go live for that. I'll have that ready to go. It'd be a huge help. What's Paigey up to? Like she's driving into a. I don't know what she's doing. I think she's diverting further to the south. Oh, we lost Paigey. She'll be back. Let's go see if we can get our eyes on another storm here in Mississippi. Where's our cameras at? We do have a lot of cameras around Jacksonville. Storms aren't really near there. I think the north of Jacksonville. What is this? Greenville? They're on the border. Yeah, north of Greenville. If we can get like a northern facing camera from here, darn. Maybe something back in there. How about Clarksville? Let's see. Yeah, Clarksville does have some potential severe weather coming your way. Get a line of storms off to your north and west. Should have a little bit of a tornado threat with it as that pushes down to the south and east. What happened to Paige? Is this me or? Oh no, it was her. Oh, was it confirmed EF0 near Akron, Indiana the other night? Yeah. Help caught that one just in time. I'll tell you what. He did a great job on that storm. All right, let's do a little bit of a round robin here in all of our newest severe thunderstorm warnings. Got a new one issued up here for quarter-sized hail. Going to be for Valley Junction and Youngstown, because the storm is mainly moving up to the north. And we also just got one up here in northern Louisiana. That's going to be for this storm near Bernice. In Farmerville, it's going to be for $half sized hail, so watch out for that storm if you live north of Farmersville. Yeah, put that in motion. Also got a severe thunderstorm warning near Dallas. This storm here near Corsicana, south of Dallas, heading towards Trinidad and Star Harbor. That's going to be for ping pong ball sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. That might try to crack some windows there. Watch out there in Trinidad and a log cabin. It's heading pretty close to Athens, Texas. And another one we've just gotten is over here near Grenada. That's going to be for ping pong ball sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds heading towards Coffeyville. And also this one up near Water Valley. Just got some new information on it. Still quarter-sized hail there. That's going to be heading towards Paris, Tula, Saripa, and Banner, Mississippi. And then this storm back over, that's near Lake Providence, just got upgraded to $half sized hail. Rolling Fork and Anguilla are going to be next in line there. And then we haven't gone over this one either. That's going to be for Goodman's. Actually, we did. Still warned for quarter-sized hail there. Okay, so I think we're caught up. And then we just got another new severe thunderstorm warning that looks like a foam finger that says number one. It looks like this. You know, like those number one foam fingers. That's in southeastern Arkansas near Vic. Where is that? I think that might be for their, not for that storm. They might, oh yeah, they're extending this severe thunderstorm warning for Mount Olive or for Ingalls Vic. I think it's the right one. I can't tell. It might be this one over here. We could have an overlap happening here. It's kind of hard to see. Wall cloud? Not. I don't think any of these storms should have wall clouds on them. You know, we're not really seeing a whole lot of rotation on any of these storms right now, which is interesting because this is kind of like the most favorable today will be. Because after a while, we're going to start to see a surface inversion start to build in, and that's going to kind of put a yeah, it's already starting to build in a little bit there on the northern mode here. Might be why some of these storms are struggling. Now let's come back over to our camera view here. See if we can't find a decent view on some of these storms that are over here near Greenville. Maybe like a camera from here looking to the west. Too low. All these ones are down. Ooh, not that one. See much from that? What's that? No, it's the same thing we were looking at. Really, the only storms we'll be able to see are these ones near Tupelo, but and maybe this one over here near Oxford. Let me just double check to see where our cameras are near Oxnard. It's Tupelo. Pretty sure we had cameras near Oxnard. I might be wrong. Yeah, there are some near Oxnard, but they're all looking the wrong way. I mean, they're all a little bit to the north of the storm near Oxnard. Yeah, our next little area, we just don't really have any areas to look at storms here. All of our storms are in camera holes. Yeah, no problem, Ice Cream. Thank you for tuning in. It looks like this storm over here in Alabama is starting to lose intensity. Now down to ping pong ball sized hail. It was at tennis ball sized hail earlier, but does seem to be kind of losing its intensity a little bit. Let's see here. We just got a bunch of new updates on these severe thunderstorm warnings over here near like Hamburg and Greenville. Most of all of them are quarter-sized hail still. Then we got golf ball-sized hail warning issued over here near Kerrville and Fredericksburg. Up to 50-mile-per-hour winds possible. That's going to be going towards Tividale, Morris Ranch. This one might get a severe thunderstorm eventually as well. Also a little bit of an outflow boundary kind of reaching out from this storm. Got a severe thunderstorm warning over here near Louisiana as well. It's for Minden and Shibley. 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds with that one. And this one over here near Farmersville is still warned for $half sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. You're in VC looking for cams now? All right. Thank you so much. Let me get that set up. Where did we have it set up last time? That one. Was it this one? Yeah. I don't know what you're looking at there, buddy. You're sharing your old browser, by the way. And you're looking at a tornado video. I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to pull up the chat or the video. You need an ad blocker or something. Driving through Kentucky and soon to be driving into Nashville. From Kentucky to Nashville. I mean, if you're driving from like Hopkinsville, you're gonna make it before the storms get there. But if you're driving from like Eddyville or Calvert City, you're probably gonna go through a line of storms on your way there. But it looks like your fastest route will be non-severe storms, at least at this moment. Seems like a lot of our severe storm warnings are dropping off here for parts of Kentucky at the moment. Smells like rain outside the Kentucky-Tennessee border. Nice. Nice. Ooh. It's actually side lobe contamination there. I thought that was an area of rotation there, but that inflow on that storm is certainly getting stronger. Dang, I just really hate that there's no radars over here in Arkansas. Like Southeast Arkansas really needs a radar. That is quite a bad radar hole. Am I interested in our solar system at all? Yeah, I love space. Solar maximum? Yep. I'm familiar with all of that. I like all things that have to do with Earth. You read an article that stated hurricanes will be twice as strong as they were before. Eventually, yeah, it's possible. I mean, there's the one thing that fuels hurricanes is, the sea surface temperatures. But I just don't know, like how high can the sea surface temperature get before it like hits like a theoretical limit? Not sure. But if there is no limit, then yeah, I mean, the more and more the oceans heat up, the stronger the hurricanes are going to get. I don't know about twice as strong, but maybe twice as strong on average. Maybe could make that argument. Twice as strong as like our strongest hurricanes, though. It would take a good couple of years for that to happen. maybe like a century or two. I don't think humans will be around for that. If you have ocean temperatures that hot, I don't think humans would be around. Will your audio be on stream? I don't think so. No. Try speaking. No, it's not going to be on stream. Yeah, I just figured out if people are sending like any updates on Discord, you could like go over there and show those too. Maximum sea surface temperature at 212, technically. Yeah. Yeah, that would be boiling and evaporating instantly, which would lead to a lot of moisture in the air. So, yeah, hopefully we never have to deal with temperatures that high. On Burns goes into depth on what our sun is doing. Interesting. Yeah, I never really tune into the sun regularly. I love space, but it kind of takes a back seat to a lot of other hobbies that I have. It used to be one of my most dominant focuses of science. Looks like all of our severe thunderstorm warnings have expired in Kentucky. And this one over here has expired over here near Tennessee as well. Most of our severe thunderstorm warnings are now in the Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama area. And in fact, we don't really have any dangerous storms in our tornado watch really at all, except for these guys over here. These ones are looking pretty interesting, but again, we're just not seeing a whole lot of rotation with many of these storms. Boiling the ocean. We're just talking about the upper limits of what is possible with global warming. I don't even think that that's possible, though. I think a lot worse things would happen before that that would make hitting those temperatures impossible. I think like all the forests would burn at that temperature before you even get there. And you get all that smoke in the atmosphere that would block out the sun for a little bit. Broad circulation with this storm, very broad. Let me see if we have any new significant severe weather updates. Quarter-sized hail for Tool, Trinidad. They're in Texas. Tennessee, quarter-sized hail in Louisiana. Ping pong ball-sized hail with this storm here. Near Tremont and Tilden. Ping pong ball-sized hail now possible over here in northern Louisiana. That's going to be for this storm near Farmerville. This is the primary corridor of the supercells in the short term. It is right here in like central Mississippi going into northeastern Alabama. Yeah, Tornado Explorer. There also might be cameras in Alabama you want to have like on a tab or something. As the storms move closer to Huntsville, I think there's a couple cameras out there and maybe one over there near Decatur. That one's annoying though, because you have to constantly, it's like a slow website. Yeah, I'll put, I don't know. Is it okay if I share the Discord Tornado Explorer? I don't know if you're doing anything. What's my favorite go-to storm tracking snack? Air. I'm not a snack eater. I have a problem with snacks. A horrible, horrible addiction to them. And for that reason, I do not keep snacks in the house. Because I will eat them nonstop. Is Chattanooga safe? For now, yeah. There are some showers and thunderstorms. Eventually, we'll make it to Chattanooga, but I don't think we're going to be talking about much of a severe weather threat as they get there. Could get some lightning, though. You can tell? Dang. Rude. Ain't that fat. I promise. And in fact, I've been running a lot recently. Too much. Like my feet hurt. We're gonna get down to high school. What is it like those commercials say? I was just trying to get back to my high school body. That's what I'm trying to do right now. Oh wow, 2-inch hail warning was issued. Which one is that for? I think it's this one. Yeah, still 2-inch hail. Not that one, is it? Yeah, near Salis. Did they update that recently? No, that was just issued. So they just updated this now for 2-inch hail over there near Salis, Mississippi. Can I do my nerdy thing? Or have I done it recently? Yeah, we can do we can get down and nerdy on the storms. We haven't done that in a while. So out across the region here, we have plenty of instability. That is why a lot of our storms that are firing at this moment are still severe warned. There's lots of storm food out there. It's kind of a storm food buffet happening right now in parts of Texas, going into Louisiana, Arkansas, and Mississippi. In terms of our upper level, or we'll go to our 300 millibar winds. Seems like our forcing is getting a little bit stronger down here into southeast Mississippi. Not a whole lot of storms there, though, firing. We might see more firing a little bit, and a lot of our forcing is also over here, but you can see in and along that frontal boundary is kind of acts as its own forcing mechanism. We got plenty there. 850 millibar winds are on the lighter side, definitely on the weaker side here with a lot of these storms. So, and as you can see in our lower levels, the winds, these little flags here, they're pointing out of the south and west, going up into the north and east. So our winds are moving in this direction. And then as we go up to our 500 millibar winds, they are moving from west to east. So a little bit of perpendicularity there, but not a whole lot. There is some turning with height, and there is a little bit of wind still in the lower levels. So, it's not the most favorable environment I've ever seen. I will tell you that. Definitely not a favorable tornadic environment. But, you can't let your guard down. We do have a lot of little supercells out there. If any of these things can tap into that shear and take full advantage of it, you could definitely definitely get a tornado or two. No, we're still keeping an eye on it. Side lobe there. What's happening over here near Rolling Fork? Yeah, that also is mainly side lobe contamination. Yeah, so here, we'll go over what side lobe contamination is for the newbies. So right in there, that is the inflow region of the storm. There's where your mesocyclone would be. As you can see, they are displaced. So over where our mesocyclone is where a tornado would form. And so not really a whole lot of rotation with that guy just yet. Any luck? Help? Yeah. He's trying to find cameras, but he's realizing that a lot of these, we're in kind of a camera hole with almost every single one of these storms right now. I think you'll have a better chance there in Alabama, do you not? Cusco and Ackerman just got a new severe thunderstorm warning. That is going to be for 2-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. So continue to be indoors and away from windows. Oh, never mind. These storms are kind of coming to Alabama to die. Not over there near Florence, though. Still have a severe thunderstorm warning over there near Killeen, Lexington, and Anderson. Just woke up. How much danger are you in? Not much. And just a line of thunderstorms right now. Not even severe warned. Watching from the UK, you love learning. Awesome. Well, I love teaching, so feel free to ask questions. New severe thunderstorm warning for this storm near Coffeyville. That is going to be for 1 inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. Which is a completely survivable storm, by the way, if you are indoors and away from those windows. Madison, Alabama, the wind. Yeah, it was windy today out in front of these storms. As that lower level jet moved through, it was definitely a little bit windy. What are the orbs people are seeing in the sky? Probably aliens. I don't know. Don't ask me. Pagey's got a nice sunset. Look at that. If you see an orb in the sky, likelihood is that it's either a drone, you're developing cataracts, or maybe aliens. Who knows? A difference between a wall cloud and a shelf cloud. So a shelf cloud is on the leading edge of an outflow boundary, and a wall cloud is a rotating portion of a rotating lowering underneath the updraft of a mesocyclone. So they have to be co-located for that to be a wall cloud. A lot of folks call um, like shelf clouds wall clouds sometimes, but if there's no rotation on radar to back that up, then it's usually not a wall cloud. It's a nice little sunset, but it's gone now because of the trees. Maybe we should just cut all the trees down. Then the storm chasers will be happy. I'm just kidding. I like trees. Not when I'm golfing, though. Not when I'm golfing. I got a new severe thunderstorm warning over here near Gainesboro and Dodson Branch. This storm is in Tennessee here, 1 inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. Watch out for that. We have a very good question for you that might stump you. But how do you measure a millibar? Well, it's a pressure change. So you can use various different things, but it's usually measured, I think, by an enclosed area of either like liquid of some sort, or you can get in there. I think there's usually a liquid in there. And essentially, what it does is that as the pressure changes, the pressure builds also in that canister, and then you can measure it. That's one way to measure it. It's usually like an enclosed. It can either be bigger or smaller. I think that's how most things measure millibars. You are from Birmingham, Alabama. Well, all right. Almost neighbors. Close. What does it seem like when all the same types of storms keep coming at the same region in Texas? Any idea? Hmm. What region are you talking about? You talking about this region here? It's usually just because you guys are, it's never just the same region. I will say that. All right. Sometimes it's up here near Amarillo and Lubbock. That's usually as we go more into the summertime. Over there near like April or May. Over there near Oklahoma, Amarillo, and like Kansas. Sometimes it can get as far north as, the northern United States. I mean, that's pretty much just, it's kind of hit or miss. You know, you're never going to get the same storm every single time, right? Weather has a lot of variability. Now, all the areas of rotation right now that are being indicated on radar are all side lobe contaminated right now. Those don't concern me at all. They might throw a warning on one of them, but that doesn't really change the fact that it's contaminated. Pretty interesting looking storm here near Tremont. Kind of doing the same thing that last one did. Producing a hook that has no rotation on it. Yeah, and certainly a hail outbreak. Yeah, no kidding. We've had some significant hail today, multiple instances of significant hail. So it has actually overperformed in terms of hail. Hail's kind of a weird thing. You know, you can get, 3-4 inch hail forecasted, and then you only get like, you know, like uh like 1 inch hail. But ooh, looks like Tornado Explorer might have found something. Maybe not. I don't know. What? But yeah, and then sometimes when you're not really forecasted to get big hail, sometimes you get big hail, and then sometimes the forecasts actually confirm. But I would say hail, like in comparison to like damaging winds, and like tornadoes, hail's probably like one of the harder ones to forecast and to get right. Where's the fancy hat? Somewhere. Not wearing it right now. I don't know why Jess's comment got deleted. Oh, because someone was asking about. Oh, okay, I get it. Sorry, took me a while. A little while. A little bit slow on that one. I now see. It's okay to ask any kind of question. It doesn't bug me, especially when things are a little bit slower. We're just dealing with severe thunderstorm warnings. It looks like we got a ping pong ball sized hail here near Hackleburg and Hamilton. Still want you guys to be indoors and away from windows now. Another new severe thunderstorm warning over here near Murchison and south of Canton, Texas. That's going to be for another $50 size hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. We just got another severe thunderstorm warning here in Kentucky with this storm near Murray, Kentucky. And that is going to be for 1 inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. I'm going to like catch them as they happen, but it's kind of hard sometimes. There's so many severe thunderstorm warnings. It's a little bit too much. I think radar, or not radar mega, almost called this radar beta. Wow. I thought there was a way to choose more frames. I think that's in like the paid version.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
Is 6'9"? No. I'm actually 2'11", 2'11". Just for you, so you guys know. Oh wow, tornado warning. Over here near Rolling Fork. It looks like this area of rotation has wrapped up a little bit of a mesocyclone there. You can see now our precipitation is lined up with that area of rotation. Sometimes it goes away when the rotation wraps in there, or when the precipitation wraps in there, but it has not. So if you're over here near Rolling Fork, Agreemont, Choctaw Landing, Hickman Landing, and Dogwood Landing, you guys need to be in your safe spots. Not very strong rotation right now, pretty broad at the moment, but certainly would be in your safe spots, just in case that does try to tighten up there. Hopefully that dies off there. We definitely don't need another tornado near the Rolling Fork area. That is for sure. Chaser had a brief touchdown. Which chaser? Is it a Hascam chaser? It is. Who is that? Let me hide this really quick. See what they're looking at with this storm. Jason Cooley. Yeah, it does kind of seem like there might be a funnel on this storm. Wish I could show you guys, but cannot. But yeah, this storm over here does appear to have a funnel on it. So if they think that it did a brief touchdown there, I'm gonna have to agree that that is certainly in the realms of possibilities here. Was teeny tiny and brief. Okay. And there's your area of rotation here. Now just to the west of Rolling Fork, about to kind of, it looks like it's moving more towards Riverside Junction. And Rolling Fork, Riverside Junction, and Guilla here in Mississippi should be in their safe spots. Yeah, let me see if this has cam is if it's one that we can look at or not near Rolling Fork. Wow. Nope. Cannot. Yeah, that thing definitely looked like it was on the ground for a little bit. It is not on the ground right now, but there is certainly what appears to be a rain-wrapped funnel approaching Rolling Fork and Riverside Junction. Why are they a NATO magnet? They're not. I mean, they had one a while ago, but I don't think they've had one since. And it's interesting. That correlation coefficient didn't even show up on radar at all. Very messy, unfortunately, out over in these parts because there's just not a whole lot of radars out here. And they do get a lot of severe weather down there near Rolling Fork. That is for sure. Just bad luck, I suppose. Still waiting on that latest scan to come in here. The storm moving slow. Uh, kind of. Let me see how fast that's moving. Yeah, it's moving east at 20 miles per hour, which is relatively slow. You see something here. Oh, it's about to drop again. Very close to being on the ground yet again. There is a tornado almost on the ground. A pretty large funnel on this storm, folks. I'm watching it on my second screen. Jason Cooley has a pretty good view of this storm, and it's very close to the ground. Not seeing any dust rising. We certainly have a large funnel with this storm. Oh no, yeah, it's lifting debris. This is on the ground here, north of Rolling Fork, heading into Riverside Junction. Again, if you live in Riverside Junction, this is on the ground right now. It is on the ground. Yeah, it's still on the ground here. Where's that velocity couplet here? The velocities are hanging behind here by a couple of minutes. Not really sure. Oh, there we go. Yeah, yeah. There's that. There's that velocity couplet. Not showing a debris ball, but I can see it with my eyes. It's on the ground. Still on the ground. Really south of Lorezen.
New information. This
Looks like they just
tornado
upgraded
warning
this
has
warning
been upgraded.
now to a weather spotter confirmed tornado. This is officially on the ground according to the NWS, and yeah, it is still on the ground. It is like a half condensed funnel with debris being lofted up underneath it. It's not really lifting up a whole lot of debris, so I think it's definitely on the weaker side. But even a weak tornado can cause significant or some decent damage. So I still want like Rolling Fork and Gwilla to continue to be in their safe spots. Yeah, this is in Mississippi, near Rolling Fork, Mississippi. Wow. This is not the area I was expecting a tornado today. It looks like this storm is just tapped into something. Okay, it looks like it's lifting. Still a pretty stout funnel with this storm right now. And there's your tornado that's on the ground heading directly towards Riverside Junction. You guys need to be in your safe spots. Cannot stress that enough. The storm apparently has produced multiple tornadoes here. This might be the second tornado of the storm, according to earlier reports. Yeah, just north of Rolling Fork, over here near Riverside Junction. Thankfully, this did not go into the Rolling Fork area, and as of right now, it does appear to be over a field. And yeah, it looks like this tornado has almost fully dissipated now. Yeah, it's dissipated. The tornado's not on the ground anymore. Still got a pretty stout funnel on it, though, at the moment. So it did have one? Yeah. Yeah, it just had one on the ground. Yeah. Hey, thank you, Wendy, for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you. Yeah, it seems like there still is like a pretty stout funnel on this storm. If I could draw it, looks like this, and then the funnel comes down like that. There's some like rain behind it, ground's down here, so it's not fully on the ground, or it's not on the ground. It's a funnel right now. Oh, it might be reaching back down again. And the funnel is getting a little bit closer to the ground now. We haven't had a radar update in a while on this radar. I want to check back in with some of our other storms. Yeah, we're still looking good there. South of North Carrollton. That might be trying to do the same thing, yeah. Yeah, we might, just given what that other storm did, that might have a funnel on it. There, south of North Carrollton, near Winona, there in Mississippi, near Duck Hill. Watch out for that storm. Would not surprise me. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is what the storm looks like now. So you have like your little mesocyclone, and then it's just a very, very long and skinny funnel, like reaching up all the way into the storm, but it's not, as far as I can tell, it's not on the ground, but it's just this very long, ropey funnel on the storm right now, just to the south of Anguilla. We do have a latest scan here. Yeah, it looks like that rotation is a little bit weaker now, but I mean, we still have a very long and skinny, like snake funnel. It's like, it literally looks like this. There's the ground. Here's a little mesocyclone, but it's not touching the ground right now. Yeah, it's just in the process of roping out. It's almost gone. It's not on the ground anymore, but it's got a really long and super skinny funnel, and it's pretty much roping completely out here. Jeez, it's still there. All right, here's the new update. It is, I can't even draw a line anymore. It looks like this. And the ground's down here. It is literally just a thin line of rotating air, and you just barely see it. So again, if you live over here near Anguilla, just be in your safe spots just in case this tries to reach back down. Sometimes that happens because it's still up there. There's certainly a funnel still happening, but it is almost gone. There's still okay, here's what it looks like now, and this will probably be the last thing we see. It just looks like a little detached funnel, and then there's nothing else. Okay, it's officially gone. Now this is what it looks like. Nothing. All right, so the tornado is lifted and the funnel is gone. Rotation's looking a little bit weaker here. Yeah, there's a chaser that has footage. I can't show it. I don't work with them. So I can't show it, but that's why I was describing it to you guys, because there was a tornado on the ground with this storm just a second ago, but and it was very obvious from this chaser. It's Jason Cooley from Live Storm Chasing, or Live Storm Media, actually. Sorry. Into a wind tunnel. That's pretty much your visual. Yeah. Yeah, it was a very, it literally was like it wasn't just a noodle. It was like an angel hair spaghetti noodle right before it completely disappeared. What's up, Jazzy Noodle? Are you a spaghetti noodle too? Yeah, looks like they allowed these severe thunderstorm warnings here in northern Alabama to expire. We still got this guy, though, over here. Still going. Heading towards Birdstown, Tennessee there with 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. Roped out. Yeah, it's gone. Thankfully. Didn't look like a very strong tornado, and it didn't really look like there was many buildings nearby it, but I didn't see like any debris other than dust get lifted up, which is probably why we didn't see a debris signature. That is interesting, though. This is like, it really doesn't make much sense, I'll be honest. This storm is literally like the only storm out of all of these that doesn't have any wind shear. Not gonna lie, that storm's kind of blowing my mind. It must be some like boundary interaction that we just can't see. That really doesn't make much sense. It must be latched. The only
A
thing I
new
think of is that
PBS
it's latched
severe
on to some sort of
thunderstorm warning
boundary.
has been issued.
Does the air quality and stuff in front of that cell help you? No, air quality it doesn't typically really impact that too much. A little bit of rotation trying to pick up over here near Doddsville. It's like really deep into a radar hole, though. Would be north of Greenville. Looks like Tornado Explorer gave up. Which I don't blame you. There's really no cams near anything. Oh my. And we just got a PDS severe thunderstorm warning back over here for Comfort. It's going to be for baseball-sized hail. So watch out over there near Comfort, Texas. Got some baseball-sized hail coming towards you. You're definitely going to want to be indoors and well away from your windows. And you do got a little bit of time there in Comfort to bring those cars indoors. That's some big old. That's a big hail. Baseballs falling out of the sky at 50 miles per hour. You can imagine, if you've ever played baseball, if you've ever been hit by a baseball before while someone was pitching it, and then just times that by like 1,000. They just update this. This is, as far as I can tell, it's not on the ground anymore. I'm checking for new updates. Yeah, no more rotation. Oh, there's still a little bit of rotation there south of Anguilla, but I do not think that this storm is back on the ground. So hopefully, I think we'll be getting an update here shortly as that gets reported. Anyone ever been killed by a hailstone before? I think so. I'm not sure if it's something that happens yearly. It's certainly possible. Let me see if I can get some statistics on that. Like Texas usually has the most hail events. But I don't know. It's not something I know off the top of my head. Yeah, okay. So it's not that common. Since 2000, year 2000, only 4 people have been killed by hail. So it's not very common. You do need really big hail for it to cause like, deadly effects, but you can definitely get some pretty serious injuries from it. Well, the main thing to keep in mind, like the simple way to think about hail is like, you got your storm, right? And then in the updraft of the storm, the hail, so let's say like down here near let me move this over here. Like down here near the surface, it's like 70 degrees. And let's say like right about here on this dotted line, that's the freezing line. So that's like below 32 degrees and colder the further you go up. And so essentially, say you get like a little bit of, moisture that rises up in here, condenses into a raindrop, starts to freeze once it hits this freezing level. And because there's a strong updraft, that little area, it actually rises, falls, and then rises and falls and just kind of circulates in the updraft. And the longer it can stay into that updraft, the bigger the hail becomes. Shoot. Can I go back? But let me do this. If you have like some moisture moving here and the storm is rotating, a lot of times it will like go up into the updraft, kind of hang out for a little bit, then kind of get flung out of the storm early. Usually in lower shear environments and the lower levels, that's where you start to see some of your bigger hail events being possible. "246 people killed in India." Interesting. Yeah, it must be more likely over there since I guess there's more people outside sometimes. Yeah, I would say the tornado threat up here is pretty darn low. We'll see if these storms can do anything, but they seem to be struggling to rotate really at all at this point. And it seems like our main tornado threat is just kind of associated with some of these cells. Yeah, no problem. Oh, look, Pagey's approaching a storm again. A little bit of thunder and lightning off to her right. I think the biggest hail I've ever been hit by is like 1-inch hail. Was lightning, but now I'm not seeing anymore. It must be like very little lightning. There's more. Yeah, we're pretty far away from the storm, so we might see some cloud to cloud lightning if there isn't that many clouds in the way. Dang, there was more, but then the service went out like the perfectly wrong time. No, not again. Yeah, the black shaded region is the tornado watch, and the pink shaded region is the severe thunderstorm watch. All right, all right. Yeah, rain on a motorcycle is pretty much the same thing as like rain in a hurricane. That it hurts quite a bit. A little bit of rotation still over here near Winona, Mississippi. Was I glad to catch some rest after the outbreak? Absolutely. It's been very relaxing. And I believe it's going to be relaxing again after this storm is all done, said and done. Go check up on our tornado warning storm. Yeah, our rotation is completely gone now. I haven't really seen any interesting from the chaser in the area either, so nothing to really note. Folks that still need to be in their safe spots, though, is anyone like in along 14 there, north and east of Holland Landing. Go check back in with that baseball-sized hail. Yeah, it looks like there's our hail core right there. Let's switch it over to the Ville so we can see the hail, potential hail a little bit better here. Yeah. Yeah, it's really centered over Kerrville right now. I'm going to be heading down into like Cypress Creek here shortly in Comfort. In northern Bama, not really. Like if you're like over here near Athens and Decatur, I mean, this is going to be some thunderstorms and lightning for the most part. I'm still so surprised that this produced. I'm not going to lie. Like these storms further up north have been in like a much better environment than this storm down here. And as far as we know, none of these have produced. Give you a convertible. Yeah, Mandy says she doesn't want to drive into a rainstorm on a motorcycle, but she'll do it in a convertible. Got hit by a paintball. Yeah, paintball is a painful, very painful. I wouldn't say very, but it's like an annoying pain. My brother used to work for this paintball place. Oh, nice lightning again on Paige's screen. Yeah, my brother used to work for a paintball place, and I used to try to paintball there, but I just never really liked it. I was young at the time, and I wasn't really a big fan of, subjecting yourself to pain like on purpose. So I was always kind of scared of paintball. Every time I went, I would like layer up on like a bunch of layers of clothing. Yes, we just had our first tornado. Let me bring up the radar here on the bottom left. Just had our first confirmed tornado, at least of the day, here just to the north of Rolling Fork, near Riverside Junction. If I had to guess, the path of it was similar to like this, and then very very brief and weak tornado down there. And that, according to reports, was the second tornado. So technically, we've had two tornadoes today. I'm just waiting for like that one really long spidery lightning bolt to kind of reach out of a cloud here. I think it's possible. Yeah, that's pretty much what storm chasers think, CL. Is the threat over for today? Tornado threat is still going to be like off and on. I mean, there's still potential. I really think the tornado threat should be up here. Just according to the meso, the kind of observations that we're seeing, but I mean, it's just not happening. We did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning, though. Man, that's close to me. And look at that storm. It ran into some stable air and just, poof. Oh my gosh. That storm went from something to nothing. Look at that. Poof. And there goes all of its marbles. You can actually see the marbles dropping out of the storm as it moves to the east there. Wow. What made it do that? Probably just more stable air, I had to guess. Let me see what the thermodynamics are. Yeah. You can see like right on the eastern portion, like right near that where that storm was going, it just went into like zero instability and just faded it out of existence. Yeah, there's a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings right now. That is for sure. And it's just a severe thunderstorm warning after severe thunderstorm warning. We're not really getting many like the bigger hail, especially in this region, is kind of quieting down. We still have some instances of some ping pong ball sized hail here in this part of Mississippi. Ping pong 1.5 inch. This one over here near Indianola actually has golf ball sized hail. That one's actually, I'm going to watch out there near Indianola. He's got another new update on this one. 1 inch hail there, 1 inch hail, or $half sized hail there. So we do still have some instances of some bigger hail for sure. This is ours. Ugh. I mean, the olives are on there, so it's not as appetizing to me, but that's still like, if you could just like blank the olives out, that still is looking really good. Is that cooked? What's going on with the crust? There's like like, how did like the whole pizza cook, but then the crust, it doesn't look like it like got cooked at all. Was the crust soft? It was the lighting. Okay. Whitest crust in the world. It is. But she says it's the lighting. Might be the kind of is it like gluten-free crust, maybe? Maybe it's like a gluten-free thing. Got a severe thunderstorm warning over here in Texas, making its way towards Murchison. Trying to make its way over there towards Tyler, Texas, but I think it's going to go north of. Oh no, it kind of did a little bit of an easterly jog here. All right, guys. Carrie says it's definitely cooked. All right. She's been making pizza for 13 years. How dare you guys question Carrie's pizza abilities? Little update over here in northern Louisiana. Let's see what we got going on. 1 inch hail over there. Golf ball sized hail south of Homer, heading towards Arcadia. It's like Michael just got hit by some hail there. Yeah, now I am super hungry. This is unsustainable amounts of hunger that picture has caused. So yeah, huge shout out to Carrie for that. And we have so many supercells out here that like look like they could be tornadic, but then you switch over to the velocities and you just see nothing. South of Algoma. Google map that. Is that Mississippi? Algoma. Oop. That northeastern Mississippi. Oh, this thing? Yeah, it's a little couplet. Little teeny tiny couplet. Not very strong. I noticed that a moment ago, but it wasn't very strong, so I didn't really say much about it. Thank you, Adam and Amy, for subscribing. Welcome. Don't find their power in Bama. Yeah, I don't think they will. You know, eventually we're going to see almost our entire atmosphere get capped out, which is almost happening here. And in this kind of sheer environment, that will have a significant impact on a lot of these storms. Almost every storm is capped out, except for that little one over there in Rolling Fork that just produced. But it still kind of blows my mind because there really isn't that much wind shear around that storm. I wonder what the SRH is near that. Maybe that's the secret sauce. 150? That is literally like the storm in like one of our weakest environments that just produced the first confirmed tornadoes of the day. Also, we just got a new severe thunderstorm warning over here near Kilmichael for $half sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds heading towards Lodi, Stewart, and Tom Nolan. Check back up here near northern Alabama on these storms. That still blows my mind. Imagine if like I was waiting for that storm to come in and then it just does that. Oof. That'd be sad from like a storm chaser perspective. Yeah, it looks like this one is still warned for the same thing. So nothing's really changed here. Folks need to still be indoors and away from windows. But still pretty manageable storm down there. Yeah, a couple of weak couplets over here. I think it's worth keeping an eye on, given that there's still somewhat of a favorable environment here for tornadoes up there. And then back over here to our tornado warning. Still not a whole lot of rotation. Maybe some new circulation trying to develop there. Yawned about 30 times while eating. You are tired. Man, so much lightning on Pagey Tornado's view. Yeah, that's the problem, man. It's just like if you love tornadoes, you're kind of in a weird spot. It's definitely like a love-hate thing, you know. Like very, very rarely does a tornado just happen in a field. In southern Mississippi, I mean this one, yeah, I mean it's not a little storm, but it's not severe warned anymore near Puckett. There's a lot of lightning with it. Looks like our tornado warning has officially expired, which is great news. All right, I think this is what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna take a small break and eat some food. I need to eat some food. Unless you guys want to stick around while I take about 15 minutes to make some food. But I'll come back before I'm done. Maybe I don't know. I have to use the stove if another tornado warning happens. But I really am hungry. I need to eat, and I'm not seeing any dangerous rotations right now. So let me get something to eat, and then if it seems if it seems like a tornado threat will continue to last, I will go back live. Monroe, Monroe has a severe thunderstorm warning to the north of you guys, and it looks like it's gonna miss you guys. But there are some storms like back over here that might rise up to the north and try to come back up into Monroe maybe later. Hearing thunder indicator, yeah, that's this guy right here, gonna be coming towards you. So let me go get something to eat. It's all Carrie's fault, and then I'll be right back if needed. I promise. So thank you guys though for tuning in. Thankfully, it wasn't super active yet. We'll see as it goes into the nighttime hours if that will hold on. And yeah, hopefully, I don't think any houses got hit by those tornadoes, but they might have. So you don't have many details on that yet. Most of them happen in like fields here, so I'm hoping that nobody got affected by that. But if any of that news develops, I'll try to retweet it at least on Twitter if I'm eating while it comes out. Stay live will be good. What? Stay live and do what? Just like show my radar while I'm making food for 15 minutes. I'm making mac and cheese and yeah, I saw that. Man, you guys had a little bit of a storm go through there in Homer. You went quiet there for a little bit. I just assumed that you were outside or near your window. All right, guys. Give me like 15 minutes or at least 15 minutes. I gotta eat my food. But if something happens after 15 minutes, after I'm done making my food, if it's like a tornado warning or something, then I will go back live. So I promise. No wings. No wings. But give me a little bit. I'm gonna make some food and we'll be back. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe if you want future coverage, and I will see y'all in a little bit. Hopefully not. Hopefully I never see y'all again, right? I mean, that's the hope. That's the hope. I mean, if you never see me again, then that means no more severe weather and tornadoes ever happen again. So no, I gotta eat, guys. I gotta eat. Let me eat. Let me cook. All right? Let me cook. Like literally, let me cook some food. All right. See y'all later. Peace.